Good afternoon, everyone. So, you have understood everything about the carbon cycle. What is this carbon cycle? What is the carbon cycle? The process by which carbon dioxide is taken by the atmosphere by the process of photosynthesis, and it is released back to the atmosphere by different processes: natural, artificial. Natural process: death, decay, respiration, volcanic eruption, weathering of the rocks. Artificial process: the deep tillage or agriculture or burning of the fossil fuels, out of which burning of the fossil fuels is the most important process of releasing the carbon dioxide. Here, because of increase in the amount of carbon dioxide, the greenhouse gas emissions are increasing. There is large amount of carbon gas in the atmosphere, therefore global warming is increasing, because carbon dioxide will trap long wave infrared radiations and thus will heat the lower surface of the earth. Because of this heating, there is now a process in which we are coming to a concept that is either reduce the greenhouse gas emissions, which is not possible because everyone wants to do industrial development, and along with the reduction of the greenhouse gas emissions, there is a concept of capturing the carbon dioxide and putting it down, storing it deep inside. So this concept of carbon capture and storage is what is known as carbon sequestration. How is the storage? Storage is long-term storage, not the short-term storage. Long-term storage, and therefore the word is carbon sequestration, that is the long-term storage of the carbon dioxide. Because of the long-term storage of this carbon dioxide, कैसे करते हैं carbon sequestration? We create natural and artificial carbon sinks. Sink मतलब जहाँ से the carbon dioxide will escape in the atmosphere. And thus these are the new innovative methods of fighting the global climate change. Essay जो था आपको उसमें एक you have to write, majority of the essay जो आया था इस साल, it was demanding this carbon sequestration, that is the innovative methods of capturing the carbon dioxide and storing it deep inside the earth. Right? Now in this carbon sink, carbon sequestration, we have done some of the natural, some of the artificial, जिसमें एक concept is that of geoengineering. And we have solved the question that geoengineering is the capturing the carbon dioxide and storing it deep inside the earth. वैसे natural carbon sequestration also can occur through ocean engineering. Ocean engineering, that is the capturing the carbon dioxide and storing it deep inside the ocean surface, but it is not a good method because ocean floor is thin and it can be subjected to rifting and sea floor spreading. Fine. And once that ocean may, when the carbon dioxide is mixing, it will result into the concept of ocean acidification. Now what is this acidification? This acidification is when oxides, that is CO2, NOx or sulfur oxides, तीनों, will mix with rainwater or mix with water जिसका pH is neutral, but in natural world the water का pH will decrease and the water will become acidic. So this is what is acid rainfall, yeah, acid ocean acidification. So carbon dioxide is also causing ocean acidification, but majorly we blame nitrous oxides and sulfur dioxide for acid rainfall. क्योंकि जो natural rainfall है, because there is a presence of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, natural rainfall is also acidic. Why? Because carbon dioxide will mix with natural water and make a weak acid, very very weak acid, carbonic acid. Because it is a weak acid, we don't consider it as a part of the process of acid rainfall. But कल अगर आता है question, acid rainfall is caused by oxides of carbon, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, answer is all three. Fine. Problem of pollution is because of this, because ये दोनों के acids are very strong. Sulfur oxides and nitrous oxides के acids are very very strong. So because we are releasing more and more amount of carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide is there in the rocks. That carbon dioxide, some of the carbon dioxide is going back into the oceans. Oceans are becoming acidic. Secondly, due to weathering of the rocks by rivers, by rainwater, by soil, carbon dioxide जो है वो easily mix हो जाता है with water. Then from water it goes into the oceans or river water bodies and इसलिए water is becoming acidic. So इन दोनों problems को solve करने के लिए acidification and the next is that is of an iron fertilization. But इसके साथ what is this iron fertilization? It is by spraying of iron dust, which will cause the growth of algae or phytoplanktons? Phytoplanktons, not seaweeds, etc. They will cause the growth of tiny marine producers which are known as phytoplanktons, and therefore iron fertilization, but it has been opposed because iron fertilization may result into algal bloom like scenario. Not algal bloom, it will result into algal bloom like scenario. Then there is another concept, that is that of a biochar burial. So we have done what is biochar. Biochar, biomass which is heated by the concept of pyrolysis, that is heating in anaerobic conditions at very high temperature in the absence of oxygen, is known as pyrolysis. When you heat it in the presence of oxygen, it is known as incineration. Both of them are the techniques of fighting the pollution also, and obviously this thing. Up the next technique that comes is urea fertilization. या उसको हम कहेंगे even ocean fertilization. The technique is same as iron. The only difference in urea and ocean fertilization is iron fertilization phytoplanktons, urea and ocean fertilization will result into the formation of algae and seaweeds, and they will have the same process. Again they will be opposed by the same group of countries who are opposing the iron fertilization, क्योंकि algae या seaweeds भी बढ़ी तो over the period of time they were going to release carbon dioxide, nitrous oxides, they will stop the penetration of sunlight, ultimately result into increase of the biological and the chemical oxygen demand. Fine with this? So urea fertilization you can take down. Urea fertilization is the process. Urea fertilization is the process by which urea is spread on the water bodies. Urea is spread on the water bodies. Urea is spread on the water bodies, which causes the growth of seaweeds, which by the process of photosynthesis will remove the carbon dioxide. Which by the process of photosynthesis will remove the carbon dioxide. Theoretically, seaweeds can also be used. Theoretically, seaweeds can also be used to manufacture. You tell me, first generation biofuel, second generation, third generation, किस में आएंगे seaweeds? First generation biofuels from food crops, that is from the crops. Second generation from fodder, oil seeds. Third generation from algae. Fine. So which can be used to manufacture third generation biofuels. Third generation biofuels. Supplying enough biomethane. Supplying enough biomethane. What is biomethane? What is biology? Something related with the biomass. So methane that is produced by biomass will be biomethane. Bioplastics. bioremediation, biofortification, biopiracy, biosparging, something related to the biomass. बाकी का rest of the words are same. So bracket में लिखना, biomethane is also known as renewable natural gas, और शॉर्ट फॉर्म भी याद रखना, सस्टेनेबल नेचुरल गैस. ये ब्रैकेट में लिखना अलग से प्रीलिम्स के लिए. having concentration of methane concentration of 90% or more. It is also known as renewable natural gas, RNG. LPG मतलब liquefied petroleum gas. So ऐसे RNG मतलब renewable natural gas, और sustainable natural gas that is having methane concentration of 90% or more. That is having methane concentration of methane concentration of 90% or more. It is formed due to anaerobic respiration. It is formed due to anaerobic respiration. The major difference between natural gas and renewable natural gas is, मतलब मीथेन एंड बायोमीथेन इज, क्या होगा मेजर डिफरेंस? कहाँ से मिलता है हमें लेना देना नहीं है. यूज करने के बाद, सोर्स फॉरगेट इट. यूज करने के बाद, डज मीथेन नेचुरल गैस कॉज पोल्यूशन? Yes, it gives carbon monoxide, it gives pollution, but in the lesser amount as compared to the fossil fuels. So ये भी वही करेगा. तो दूसरा, कैसे बनता है मीथेन? Whatever is trapped, carbon dioxide that is trapped, and after trapping the carbon dioxide, we will release, जो मीथेन बना है जब हम burn करेंगे, it will release the carbon back into the atmosphere. Fine. So you will understand this statement is biomethane is carbon neutral. Underline the word carbon neutral, or having net zero carbon footprint. Having net zero carbon footprint. Net zero carbon footprint. Can someone tell me what do you mean by carbon neutrality? जितना क्या? जितना कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज रिलीज्ड उतना ही कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज रिमूव्ड, और जितना कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड विल रिलीज उतना ही कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भी रिमूव. दैट इज व्हाट इज नोन एज एन कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी. India's first carbon neutral state? So we'll come to carbon neutrality later on. I am just giving you option abhi. Northeast Sikkim first organic state. Himachal is carbon neutral. It's set to become a carbon neutral. पीछे दिख रहा है? Minangadi is the first carbon neutral panchayat of India. Is the first carbon neutral panchayat, yeah, village in Kerala. Someone was saying Kerala, so that is Minangadi. Minangadi is the first carbon neutral panchayat. And where is Majuli? The first carbon neutral district, state, district and panchayat. अब इसके ऊपर इंडिया को ही कार्बन न्यूट्रल बनना पड़ेगा. स्टेट लेवल भी बन गया, डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल भी बन गया, पंचायत लेवल भी बन गया. So नॉर्मल मीथेन एंड बायोमीथेन में कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी जीरो है. कार्बन न्यूट्रल है, नेचुरल. पोल्यूशन होगा. कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी अलग कंसेप्ट है, पोल्यूशन अलग कंसेप्ट है. सो नेचुरल गैस बायोमीथेन इज कार्बन न्यूट्रल. कार्बन न्यूट्रल मतलब जीरो कार्बन फुटप्रिंट. विल कम टू कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी बाद में. जिनको जो सिक्किम कर रहे थे तो उनके लिए भी, उनको भी खुशी. इंडिया इज, सिक्किम इज इंडिया फर्स्ट कार्बन नेगेटिव स्टेट. सिक्किम इज इंडिया फर्स्ट कार्बन नेगेटिव स्टेट. मतलब वो ज्यादा सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन करता है. सोलह अगस्त की न्यूज है, कार्बन नेगेटिव स्टेट. Have you taken the booklet? ज्यादा थिक है वो. जिनको नहीं मिला है डोंट वरी, उसको और कट छाट करूंगा मैं इन द सेकंड क्यूईपी, तब ले लेना. उसमें और एडिशंस हो जाएंगे एक महीने के. सो ऐसे अभी मेरा क्या 10-15 दिन में है क्लास, 10 दिन में क्लास है उधर इन दैट सेकंड क्यूईपी. सो सी द थिंग इज, टाइम मिलेगा मतलब संतोष सर के नोट्स है ही, इसमें से सिर्फ रिवीजन होगा. दे आर नॉट इन डिटेल, दे आर ओनली फॉर प्रीलिम्स. ये क्या क्या होने वाला है, मतलब ओनली फॉर प्रीलिम्स. बाकी तो बैकग्राउंड भी नहीं है उसमें. फाइन. सो यूरिया फर्टिलाइजेशन. नेक्स्ट, कार्ब फिक्स. कार्ब फिक्स, कार्ब फिक्स क्या है? कार्ब फिक्स, कार्ब फिक्स इज नथिंग बट अ प्रोसेस ऑफ जियो इंजीनियरिंग इन विच कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज सिक्वेस्टर्ड. कैसे? अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोसेस. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज कैप्चर्ड एंड पानी के साथ इट इज स्प्रेड ऑन द रॉक्स. आफ्टर द, मतलब सबसे पहले बसाल्ट के ऊपर वी विल स्प्रेड द सिलिका लाइमस्टोन. फाइन. उसके बाद जोर से पानी डालेंगे एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस बसाल्ट एंड लाइमस्टोन विल रिएक्ट एंड ड्यू टू दैट रिएक्शन जो भी गैसेस है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, it is converted into some other form, it mixes with water and then that water is taken and stored deep inside the earth, not allowed to run into the oceans. Otherwise आइसलैंड का कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड कम हो जाएगा, उसके आसपास ओशन एसिडिफिकेशन हो जाएगा. सो कार्ब फिक्स इज with the help of water pumping it deep inside the ground. That is what is the carb fix project. So carb fix is the process that captures CO2 and other acidic gases in the water. Is the process that captures CO2 and the other acidic gases in the water and stores it in the subsurface and stores it in the subsurface. Stores it in the subsurface by drilling and injecting carbon dioxide. By drilling and injecting carbon dioxide along with pressurized water along with pressurized water on the basaltic rocks. On the basaltic rocks. On the basaltic rocks. Fine. कहाँ पे है? You already know. It is in Iceland. India is exploring the possibility of introducing technologies by utilizing the technologies in coal fire powered plants, clean coal technology, enhanced oil recovery, ठीक है. बस इतना ही. मैंने ये जानबूझ के स्टेटमेंट लिखवाया है क्योंकि एग्जाम में जाने से पहले तुम्हें इसके बारे में 20 वर्ड्स पता होने चाहिए, इसके बारे में 20 वर्ड्स, इसके बारे में 20 वर्ड्स. कैसे आएगा? व्हाट आर द कंडीशंस रिगार्डिंग द कोल्ड पावर प्लांट एक्सेट्रा इन द न्यूज. दिस स्टेटमेंट वाज ऑफ द मिनिस्टर एंड द सेक्रेटरी ऑफ एनवायरमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी ऑन. सो ये याद रखना कहाँ पे बोला था, सिर्फ प्रीलिम्स के लिए. It was said in post combustion carbon conference. Post combustion carbon conference. देखो क्वेश्चन. कौन करेगा, कौन नहीं करेगा? IAQ, because it is related to. ये करेगा, ये कॉन्फ्रेंसेस लेगा. फाइन. सो ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बाय International Energy Agencies, Greenhouse Gas Initiative. Greenhouse Gas Initiative. Greenhouse Gas Initiative. International Energy Agency is International Energy Agency is an autonomous intergovernmental, underline, autonomous intergovernmental, not non-governmental, intergovernmental organization established in the framework of, मतलब किसका पार्ट है, established in the framework of what? OECD, in the framework of OECD. Fine. So it is not IAEA, it is IEA. Headquarter Paris. Headquarter Paris. Reason for establishment? Reason for establishment? Oil crisis of 1973. Oil crisis of 1973. Mandate 3E. Energy security, economic development, environmental stability. Mandate 3E. Energy security, economic development, environmental stability या environmental protection. Environmental protection. Members Australia. Members all OECD members. All OECD members. All OECD members except Iceland, Israel, Chile, and Slovenia. So ये 4 countries नहीं है. China is a OECD country? No. Brazil, South Africa, Russia. Russia is a OECD country or not? India, OECD का member रशिया भी नहीं है, याद रखना. India and China, India, China, Brazil, are associate members. रशिया वो भी नहीं है. Associate members. डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन नहीं आया अब तक, बट इनडायरेक्टली इसका एक क्वेश्चन आया है इस आईईए का, क्योंकि इसके अंदर एक इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है एनर्जी वॉच ग्रुप. से हम कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन ही लिख रहे हैं, बट इसके साथ साथ के एसोसिएशंस भी तभी कर लो. राइट. एनर्जी वॉच ग्रुप is an international network of scientists and parliamentarians. Organization of scientists and parliamentarians. Located in Berlin. It functions as an independent think tank. Regarding research and studies on research and studies on research and studies on developments regarding renewable energy as well as conventional renewable energy as well as conventional energy renewable energy and conventional energy. It publishes a report in the bracket लिखना IEA मतलब ओरिजिनल IEA करता है बट IEA के अंदर कौन सा एनर्जी वॉच. It publishes a report known as World Energy Outlook. So who publishes World Energy Outlook? सबसे पहले obviously IEA, World Energy Outlook. So देखो जितने भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है, whether they publish something, उनका मेजर फंक्शंस क्या है, एंड आर दे इंडिपेंडेंट और इंटर गवर्नमेंटल, ये इतना याद रखना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जस्ट ओपन द क्वेश्चन नंबर क्वेश्चन नंबर 62. बॉम्बे नेचुरल हिस्ट्री सोसाइटी क्या है? बॉम्बे नेचुरल हिस्ट्री सोसाइटी इज द वर्ल्ड्स ओल्डेस्ट एनजीओ वर्किंग इन कंजर्वेशन ऑफ द नेचर. वर्ल्ड्स ओल्डेस्ट, इंडिया का ओल्डेस्ट नहीं, 1860s में फॉर्म हुआ था. फाइन, एनजीओ है. क्या करता है? पब्लिक अवेयरनेस. क्या करता है? बर्ड्स के लिए अवेयरनेस. क्या करता है? It takes camps inside the jungles etc. See now the question कैसे फ्रेम किया गया था. It is an autonomous organization under the Ministry of Environment and Forest. No, NGO है. It is not an autonomous organization under the Ministry of Environment and Forest. A गया, D गया, बचता है B and C. It strives to conserve the nature through action-based research, education and public awareness. ऐसा open-ended statement, obviously it is true for each and every organization. कोई ये नहीं कहेगा we are conserving the nature only by publishing the studies from the office. हर कोई ये कहेगा we are going to conserve the nature by XYZ. It organizes, conducts nature trails and campaigns for general public. Yes. So the answer is 2 and 3. Don't mark anything अभी. Will फिर से हम solve करेंगे बाद में. Earth hour we have already solved. So उसमें भी they just change the organization. And the same question, somewhat same question came. Question number 121. Does anyone know the answer for this? Traffic. क्या है traffic? It is for the conservation of trade in endangered species of wild flora and fauna. So it is an organization, an NGO that is formed by WWF and IUCN. क्या दिया है वहाँ पे? It is given by UNEP. ऐसा बहुत ही आसान क्वेश्चन आते हैं, just that you should know कि क्या उठाना है और क्या नहीं. The mission of traffic is to ensure the trade in wild plants and animals do not threaten the conservation of nature. Obviously the answer is 2 only. Q first statement is wrong. It is an NGO, not under UNEP. It is an NGO belonging to WWF and IUCN. World's largest NGO and the world's oldest international NGO, IUCN, 1948. World's largest NGO, WWF. दोनों ने मिला के बनाया ट्रैफिक, और ट्रैफिक is for the conservation. Fine. So this is how they change. They will give you any एक statement जिसमें UNEP दे देंगे या UNDP दे देंगे, thinking that क्योंकि UNEP का another program है for the conservation of biodiversity and it is known as CITES, Conservation of International Trade in Endangered Species. Fine. So these are the few 1-2 questions which will come, and they will say so. इस साल energy watch group is extremely important. What we are doing techniques of carbon sequestration. Fine. सब इनोवेटिव है जो ऐसे था, सारी इनोवेटिव है. कोई ये नहीं कह रहा है कि पेड़ लगाओ और कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन हो जाएगा. ऑल आर इनोवेटिव इन नेचर. सो द नेक्स्ट टेक्निक इज ये भी न्यूज में है, ब्लू कार्बन इनिशिएटिव. द फोकस ऑन ब्लू कार्बन. The focus on blue carbon. So what do you mean by blue carbon? Blue means related to water. So the carbon that is stored in the oceans and the world's coastal ecosystem. Again remember the word. In the world's oceans and the coastal ecosystem. Coastal ecosystem means the one that is stored in mangroves, in estuaries, in deltas. That is not just ocean, but even on the land at the zone of ecotone is known as a blue carbon. Fine. So focus is on increasing the blue carbon, that is the ocean storage, and ultimately removing from the oceans the carbon by iron fertilization, by the urea fertilization. So the next is blue carbon. Blue carbon. So blue carbon is the amount of ocean that is, sorry, the amount of carbon dioxide that is stored or captured in the form of biomass, in the world's oceans and coastal ecosystem. In the world's oceans and coastal ecosystem. Sorry. What is the answer? किस को आप blue carbon कहोगे? In the deep oceans? Yes. In the algae? Yes. If the algae is in the water, there will be algae even in the water. In the mangroves? Yes. Coastal ecosystem. Seagrass? Coastal ecosystem. अब salt pans? Yes. So blue carbon consists of, this is how the questions are asked. Blue carbon consists of the biomass in mangroves, salt marshes, seagrasses consist of biomass in what was mangroves, seagrasses, salt pans, algae, and on the seabed. and on the seabed, and on the seabed, that is deep sea. कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन में हेल्प करेगा, बट इतना ज्यादा कार्बन है कि ओशन एसिडिफिकेशन हो जाएगा. पर प्रॉब्लम क्या है ओशन एसिडिफिकेशन का? वहां पे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इतना हम ज्यादा सिक्रेट कर रहे हैं कि ओशंस आर बिकमिंग मोर एंड मोर एसिडिक. पर होगा ना एसिडिफिकेशन, कभी ना कभी तो होगा. यू आर व्हाट हिज डाउट इज कि oceans will help in carbon sequestration. Who is denying? Yes, they help in the carbon sequestration. What is the problem? Problem is we are secreting so much carbon dioxide that the oceans are becoming acidic. Fine. And as ocean acidification ultimately will cause death of organisms, and therefore carbon sink ke badle oceans will become carbon source. Once the organisms will start dying, the oceans will become carbon source. So how does the blue carbon help in storing the carbon dioxide? क्यों हम कह रहे this should be a method of carbon sequestration? blue carbon, ये सब तो blue carbon है, but this से अगर carbon dioxide if it keeps on going here, oceans will become acidic. तो इसके बाद you should know कि ये है sources of blue carbon. So for carbon sequestration, make them strong. Plant more mangroves, plant more seagrass, plant more, have more clean deep oceans. But सबसे best इसमें is mangroves. Fine. So the blue carbon, algae, algae outside the sea, obviously नहीं. Corals नहीं आएंगे. Corals के साथ zooxanthellae आएंगे. Algae, zooxanthellae. So the blue carbon can be used for sequestration, by strengthening the blue carbon ecosystems. By strengthening the blue carbon ecosystems. Blue carbon ecosystems. That is strengthening all these things by strengthening the blue carbon ecosystems. मतलब मैनग्रोव कल्टीवेशन से, इससे, उससे, एक्सेट्रा. नेक्स्ट मेथड ऑफ कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन, एनहांस्ड वेदरिंग. Enhanced weathering. Weathering से carbon dioxide is released or not? Yes. Enhanced weathering is a special kind of technique in which weathering is done under the controlled conditions. Rocks are broken, rocks में पानी डाला जाता है, and that water is stored. जो कार्ब फिक्स में होता है उसी को हम कहेंगे enhanced weathering. So weathering, carbon source. Enhanced weathering, carbon sequestration. So enhanced weathering is a technique. Enhanced weathering is a technique by which we dissolve naturally or artificially created carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Which we dissolve naturally or artificially created carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And store it in the deep geological formations. The basaltic rocks are best. Source of enhanced weathering. are next best source of enhanced weathering. Fine. Next technique is BECCS. BECCS. ये सब एक एक अलग अलग पॉइंटर्स है, क्वेश्चंस है. व्हाट यू मीन बाय BECCS? सो बायो एनर्जी, BECCS का फुल फॉर्म है बायो एनर्जी विथ कार्बन कैप्चर एंड स्टोरेज. बायो एनर्जी विथ कार्बन कैप्चर एंड स्टोरेज. क्या होगा इसमें? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड विल बी कैप्चर्ड and stored deep inside the rocks. Fine. So BECCS is a technique by which carbon dioxide is extracted from the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is extracted from the atmosphere and used for geological carbon capture and storage. And used for geological carbon capture and storage. The recent report of IPCC, कौन सा रिपोर्ट था ये? 5th, 6th, 4th, जो अभी रिसेंटली रिपोर्ट रिलीज हुआ वो कौन सा था? 5th असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट. द रिसेंट रिपोर्ट ऑफ IPCC, नो नीड ऑफ रिमेंबरिंग एग्जैक्टली कौन सा था, has indicated BECCS as the most important technology for reaching low carbon dioxide concentration target. Has indicated BECCS as a most important or key technology for reaching low carbon dioxide concentration target. Low carbon dioxide concentration target. कैसे किया जाता है? कैसे कैप्चर करोगे एटमॉस्फेरिक कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड? विथ इंडस्ट्रियल गैसेस को कैप्चर करना केमिकल रिएक्शन से, या ट्रीज लगा के कैप्चर करना, फिर इन ट्रीज को लेना, मरने से पहले उनको जलाना बाय द पायरोलाइसिस एंड मेक बायोचार आउट ऑफ इट एंड बरी देम डीप इनसाइड. सो व्हाटएवर द कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड दैट वाज सपोज्ड टू बी रिलीज्ड बाय द फॉरेस्ट इज नाउ ट्रैप्ड इनसाइड. सो इट इज अ टेक्निक. इन दिस टेक्निक there is integration of trees. There is integration of trees, crops, and industrial technology, to capture the CO2, capture the CO2 and store it or use it for the generation of biomass. PYCCS. Pyrogenic carbon capture and storage. Cryogenic carbon capture and storage is a proposed technology. Based on carbon fertilization, which will remove the carbon dioxide, as well as increase soil fertility. कंपेयर दिस टू, तो क्या डिफरेंस है दोनों में? एक कीवर्ड है, इट इज यूज्ड फॉर बायोमास, बायो एनर्जी, इट इज यूज्ड फॉर इंक्रीजिंग सॉइल फर्टिलिटी. फाइन. सो कुछ नहीं है, PYCCS, in PYCCS biomass is burned under oxygen deficient conditions, under the oxygen deficient conditions, to make biochar, which is then used to increase the soil fertility, Fine. So these are some of the techniques of carbon sequestration, the new techniques of carbon sequestration. Now tell me yes or no. अगर आपको पता है कि yes तो फिर मत लिखना, अगर नहीं तो note down. Fine. So all these techniques will help in carbon sequestration. Fine. इसके बाद tell me the following things will help in carbon sequestration or not. Soil conservation. Will it help in carbon sequestration? Yes. Soil अगर टूटने नहीं दिया, if there is no soil erosion, then there will be no breaking of the carbonate rocks and thus there will be no release of the carbon dioxide. So one is the soil conservation. Second, zero tillage. Yes. Third, sustainable agriculture. Yes. Fourth, monoculture. Monoculture will always reduce the soil fertility. Because of reduction in the soil fertility, there will be more working and implication of that is there will be more fertilizers, chemical fertilizers and pesticides on the soil, and as a result of this there will be more soil degradation and ultimately soil erosion. Fine. Seed village concept. कुछ नहीं, सीड विलेज कंसेप्ट कैसे कार्बन से रिलेटेड है? जबरदस्ती नहीं, सीड विलेज कंसेप्ट कुछ नहीं. सो सीड विलेज कंसेप्ट है कि सीड्स आर वेरी कॉस्टली इन इंडिया, and because seeds are very costly there is a problem of duplicate seeds in the market. So group of villages या कोई आदमी in the village will grow the seeds locally and these are local seeds और फिर वो seeds supply करेगा to the entire village. So उससे duplicate seeds का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाता है एंड हाइब्रिड वेराइटी ऑफ सीड्स से आजकल फिर से हम वापस आ गए कि द लोकल सीड्स आर बेटर. सो लोकल सीड्स आर अवेलेबल जो गायब होते थे. विल कम टू द सीड विलेज कंसेप्ट इन द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी. फाइन. Chipko movement, yes or no? Movements such as Chipko movement, will they help in storing the in carbon sequestration? कैसे Chipko movement? पेड़ों को कटने से बचाएगा. Fine. So as a result of this, so understanding कैसे questions आएंगे? Fine. एक अब unrelated सिर्फ prelims के लिए एक टॉपिक, वर्जिन अर्थ चैलेंज. Virgin Earth Challenge. It is a competition. Competition offering $25 million prize. $25 million prize for to anyone who can demonstrate a commercially viable design, who can demonstrate a commercially viable design to reduce or capture greenhouse gases contributing to global warming. Greenhouse gases contributing to global warming. Who gives this? FAO, UNEP, UNDP or none of the above? फिर से पढ़ो कौन सा चैलेंज है? Virgin Earth. Virgin Group belongs to whom? So it is sponsored by Virgin Group. Sponsored by Richard Branson, Virgin Group. Carbon War Room. Carbon War Room is an NGO co-founded by Richard Branson, and Jigar Shah. For finding out why market-based solutions to climate change. Market-based solutions to climate change. Market-based solutions to climate change. Who is Jigar Shah? She is one of the biggest, कोई लिखने की जरूरत नहीं, solar energy baron of the world. Solar energy baron of the world, मतलब most of the solar energy companies इसको belong करती है. जिगर शाह, she and Virgin Group co-founded. ये दोनों क्या लेके आ रहे हैं इंडिया में? Hyperloop. Obviously American है, Indian नहीं है. जिगर शाह is non-resident Indian. Fine. Nitrogen cycle. Why nitrogen cycle? 78%. But कहता है I will not mix with anyone. Fine. So इसलिए nitrogen is not that dangerous greenhouse gas. Nitrous oxides are dangerous. ऐसे है CO2 is also present, but rainwater के साथ it will mix and form acid rainfall. Nitrogen won't be mixing. So therefore nitrogen is converted into, don't draw, first understand, ammonia. Ammonia is converted into nitrites. Nitrites is converted into nitrates. Nitrates is taken up by plants. Plants will convert them into amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. They will be taken up by animals. Excess of nitrogen is given by plants and animals and stored in soil in the form of ammonia, which will undergo the same process, nitrites to nitrates. Yeah, फिर it is given back to the atmosphere through the process of nitrification. And this is the process of nitrification. So what do you mean by nitrification? Conversion of nitrogen into ammonia, nitrites or nitrates. What is denitrification? Nitrates into nitrogen. वही तो हमें पढ़ना है, ये कैसे कन्वर्ट होगा, ये कैसे कन्वर्ट होगा, ये कैसे कन्वर्ट होगा, ये कैसे कन्वर्ट होगा. अगर इतना आसान होता तो फिर कैन आई कंटिन्यू. सिर्फ इतना याद रखना, लिखो, ये डायग्राम में मत बनाना, अदरवाइज एग्जामिनर भी कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा व्हाट यू हैव मेड. There are set of bacteria, there are set of bacteria, there are set of bacteria, there is a set of bacteria. These are the bacteria that are used in biotoilets, these are the bacteria that are used in biofertilizers. बायोटॉयलेट्स न्यूज़ में, क्योंकि रेलवे ने 219 करोड़ रुपए में सारे ट्रेन्स में बायोटॉयलेट्स लगाए. 2 साल बाद पिछले से पिछले महीने बोला कि बायोटॉयलेट्स हमारे इनएफिशिएंट है एंड वी आर स्विचिंग बैक टू vacuum based biotoilets. So what is the difference between normal biotoilets and vacuum based biotoilets? Fine. Fine. Normal biotoilets developed by DRDO. Vacuum based biotoilets developed by private companies, especially Sulabh International. Sulabh Sauchalya wala. So Sulabh Sauchalya is not a government. You know that it is an NGO, and it is not just an NGO, it is one of the highly profit making NGO in the world. So it is known as Sulabh International. Fine. So we are now using, you have seen vacuum based biotoilets if you have traveled through flights. If you have seen normal biotoilet, if you have traveled through Rajdhani and Shatabdi trains, that is the difference. दोनों का input is same, but the only difference is the vacuum based biotoilets you will use 500 milliliters of water, आधा liter of water, and the normal biotoilets will use 10 से 15 liter of water. Fine. So the जितना ज़्यादा पानी उतना ज़्यादा tracks गंदे, उतना ज़्यादा बैक्टीरिया, जितना कम पानी उतना it is easily reduced. Fine with this? So that is the background. September की news. The vacuum based biotoilets versus the biotoilets. Last time biotoilets पे क्वेश्चन आया था जब बजट में फोकस था on the biotoilets. So that was back in 2012. Have you understood the nitrogen cycle? So you can take down nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere, but it is also one of the most limiting gas. Limiting gas मतलब वो directly use नहीं होता. It is also one of the most limiting gas. That is, it cannot be used directly by the living organisms. It cannot be used directly by the living organisms. Nitrogen needs to be fixed. Nitrogen needs to be fixed. Understand what does fixation means? Which means it must be converted into ammonia, nitrites and nitrates in this order only. Ammonia, nitrites and nitrates before it can be taken up by plants. Before it can be taken up by plants. Nitrogen fixation occurs in both natural and artificial environments. Nitrogen fixation will occur in both natural and artificial environments. Both natural and artificial environments. In the natural environment, it is associated with, or it occurs by, in the natural environment, it occurs by, underline this, lightning and thunder. There's a volcanic eruption, naturally will give out all the gases, including nitrous oxides. वैसे natural nitrogen fixation naturally सिर्फ एक ही process कर सकता है, that is lightning and thunder, or by microorganisms, that is bacteria. Microorganisms, that is bacteria. While in the artificial environment, it occurs in fertilizer industry. Artificial environment, it occurs in fertilizer industry. It occurs in fertilizer industry. Step 1. क्या है step 1? Nitrogen to ammonia. So हमें lightning and thunder से लेना देना नहीं है, हमें fertilizer industry से लेना देना नहीं. कैसे होगा? We are just going to do with the help of bacteria. So step 1 involves the use of bacteria. First understand this. अब जब हम bacteria करेंगे तो we will see 3 types of bacteria which are present. One is the free living bacteria, means they are present anywhere in the soil. दूसरा is with root nodules of leguminous plants. And तीसरा is cyanobacteria, that is in symbiotic association with blue green algae. अब कोई भी ये स्टेटमेंट आता है, all these are an examples of biofertilizers. Commonly asked question क्या है, why the leguminous plants, that is dal या pulses की variety should be farmed, because they will help in nitrogen fixation, that is ammonia or urea. एक ही बात है. So when you use the pulses, nitrogen in the soil increases. But it can be done also by the free living bacteria, it can be also done by the cyanobacteria. So all these are an example of biofertilizers, इतना याद रखना. So step 1, nitrogen to ammonia, और class में ही रट लो properly. This is done by microorganisms known as nitrogen fixers. Microorganisms known as nitrogen fixers. Nitrogen fixers, which are divided into first free living bacteria, divided into free living bacteria, free living bacteria, इसके अंदर लिखो free living bacteria में aerobic, azotobacter, benzimikia, aerobic दो है, what are these two, azotobacter and benzimikia. Acetobacter, it is the same thing. Azotobacter या acetobacter, it is the same thing. Acinobacter नहीं था. Benzimikia. Can I continue? Anaerobic, Clostridium, and Rhodospirulum. Clostridium, Rhodospirulum, and aerobic में Benzimikia and aceto or azotobacter. Aceto or azotobacter. Which spelling? They are also found in symbiotic association. Also found in symbiotic association with root nodules of leguminous plants. Leguminous plants means legumes. Legumes मतलब generally pulses. Example, you already know this. Rhizobium. Example is rhizobium. Example is rhizobium. rhizobium. Some of the bacteria, some of the nitrogen fixing bacteria, some of the nitrogen fixing bacteria are also found in the oceans, along with blue green algae, and they are nostoc, 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 anabena, anabina, and spirulina. Spirulina is a general tonic which is used for weakness. क्यों? प्रोटीन से. नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग बैक्टीरिया मतलब क्या है? अमाइनो एसिड्स एंड प्रोटीन्स. क्या किया इन बैक्टीरिया ने? 3 टाइप के बैक्टीरिया ने नाइट्रोजन को अमोनिया में कन्वर्ट किया. अमोनिया को नाइट्रेट्स में कन्वर्ट करना है, सो उसमें और एक स्टेप है, अमोनिया टू नाइट्राइट्स, नाइट्राइट्स टू नाइट्रेट्स. फाइन. सो देखो फिर से याद रखना, what are biofertilizers? All these are biofertilizers. What are nitrogen fixing bacteria which will convert nitrogen into ammonia? कैसे है? Free living anywhere in the soil. It is of 2 types, aerobic, anaerobic. Aerobic, very easy to remember, it is in the alphabetical order, A, B, Acetobacter, Benzimicia. Anaerobic, it is very easy to remember, they are rhyming with long words, Clostridium and Rhodospirulum. So जिसमें UM ending है, except for rhizobium. Rhizobium आप 7th standard से पढ़ रहे हो. So they are anaerobic. Fine. उसके बाद there is one rhizobium, which obviously will never come in the exam because सबको पता है rhizobium is a nitrogen fixing bacteria. They are associated with the leguminous variety. Fine. Question जो आता है in the examination is like this: cow pea, green pea, pigeon pea. Which of the following is associated with nitrogen fixation? Cow pea, pigeon pea, and green pea. Green pea मतलब मटर, leguminous plant. Yes. Cow pea मतलब cow pea means, is it a leguminous plant? Pigeon pea, yes. Pigeon pea मतलब तो ग्राम मीन्स लोबिया, मतलब लोबिया, पिजन पी. सो ये जितने भी लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट है उनके सिर्फ आपको साइंटिफिक नाम पता होने चाहिए. इसका मतलब ये देखो, अगर नहीं भी किया तो जो भी पी वेराइटी है, विल इट फिक्स बैक्टीरिया? यस. किडनी बीन्स, विल दे फिक्स बैक्टीरिया? किडनी बीन्स मतलब rajma, will they fix bacteria? Yes. They also are in symbiotic association with the leguminous plants. Fine. The root nodules. So कोई भी प्रोटीन के लिए जो आप चीज खाते हो, except for whey protein, जो डिब्बे में खरीदते हो, all of them are going to fix the bacteria. So कोई भी पी की variety, understand? जवार बाजरा? No. So they won't ask you the question regarding उड़द दाल, चना दाल, ऐसे नहीं पूछेंगे. They will ask you उसका scientific names. Fine. So you should know the scientific names of this different pea variety. क्योंकि they have rhizobium. And then see, when you go, कि why the seafood should be eaten, why the algae is growing in the sea should be eaten as a part of the diet, because they always have rich in amino acids. and उसमें याद करना कौन से 3 है? nostoc, anabena and spirulina. Spirulina is very easy. spirulina की tablets भी मिलती है market में. What is there is the nostoc and anabena. Fine. Fine with this. So come, उसके बाद this ammonia can be taken up directly by some plants can be taken up directly by some plants, or it needs to be converted into nitrites. It needs to be converted into nitrites. It needs to be converted into nitrites by the bacteria, the bacteria Nitrosomonas. It needs to be converted into nitrites by the bacteria Nitrosomonas or Nitrococcus or Nitrococcus. It is very easy. Nitrosomonas और Nitrococcus ये कभी नहीं पूछेंगे बिकॉज इसमें वर्ड में ही नाइट्रोजन है. सो ऑब्वियसली दिस आर बायो फर्टिलाइजर्स. कहाँ से आएगा बायो फर्टिलाइजर्स? इनमें से. फाइन. दे विल नेवर आस्क यू नाइट्रोसोमोनास इज अ बायो फर्टिलाइजर और नॉट. दिस nitrites are converted into nitrates. Nitrites are converted into nitrates by nitrobacter. By nitrobacters. देखो ह्यूमन बीइंग से ज्यादा हेल्पफुल नेचर के लिए बैक्टीरिया है. By nitrobacter. So what are the nitrogen fixing bacteria? ये सारे nitrogen fixing bacteria. फिर से try to understand nitrogen to ammonia by free living which are aerobic, anaerobic, A, B, azotobacter और acetobacter दोनों सेम है. फाइन. बेंजीमिकिया, क्लॉस्ट्रोडियम, रोडोस्पिरुलियम. anaerobic, clostridium and rhodospirillum. Within the root nodules, rhizobium. With blue-green algae in the water bodies, nostoc, Anabaena, spirulina. Ammonia में को they have converted it into ammonia. Ammonia is taken by some of the plants directly, but it is also converted into nitrates by Nitrosomonas and Nitrococcus. It is again converted into nitrates by Nitrobacter. Fine. So all these are nitrifying bacteria. Getting it? All these are nitrifying bacteria. उसके बाद denitrifying bacteria वहाँ पे, but उससे पहले this nitrates is absorbed by the plants. And they form amino acids which are the building block of proteins. Form amino acids which is the building block of proteins. Amino acids which is the building block of proteins. Nitrates or nitrogen, next paragraph पे. Nitrates or nitrogen is given out by death and decay of organism. हमारे अंदर जो proteins है, once we die they will become again nitrates, nitrogen, death and decay of organism, comma, burning of fossil fuels, comma, just a minute. as plant and organic waste, as organic waste, both flora and fauna, as organic waste, as organic waste, especially in the form of urea and uric acid, especially in the form of urea and uric acid, which may be again converted into ammonia, which may be again converted into ammonia or released back into the atmosphere. Or released back into the atmosphere. The process of releasing of nitrogen back to the atmosphere, the process of releasing the nitrogen back to the atmosphere is done by denitrifying bacteria, not DI. Spelling देखो DE. The process of releasing back to the atmosphere is done by denitrifying bacteria. Denitrifying bacteria, not denitrifying. DE. Denitrifying bacteria, which are Pseudomonas or Theobacillus, which are Pseudomonas or Theobacillus. Pseudomonas or Theobacillus. Pseudomonas or Theobacillus. Fine? Understanding the process? And thus nitrogen is given back. So this is what is the nitrogen cycle. Slightly complicated as compared to the carbon cycle, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत सारे agents are involved. Complicated नहीं है, simple है, सिर्फ factual data थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. Getting it? और steps ज़्यादा. Carbon dioxide direct है, nitrogen needs to be fixed. We cannot take nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere directly. Fine? Application. Are we causing nitrogen pollution in India? कैसे? NOx is being released. Excessive nitrogen is also bad for the atmosphere. क्यों? Acid rainfall, उसके बाद photochemical smog, उसके बाद global warming, because nitrogen is also a greenhouse gas. But सबसे important, ozone depletion or eutrophication. Fine? Eutrophication. So take down. So जब ऐसे पढ़ोगे तो याद रहेगा यूट्रोफिकेशन नाइट्रोजन से एसोसिएटेड है. कार्बन ग्लोबल वार्मिंग ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड में, कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन से. फाइन. सो नाइट्रोजन पोल्यूशन is becoming a major problem, due to first burning of fossil fuels, point wise लिखना, due to burning of fossil fuels. Second, biomass burning, which may be due to natural forest fires or jhum cultivation, slash and burn agriculture, jhum cultivation. Third, vehicular and industrial pollution, such as vehicular and industrial pollution caused by burning of fossil fuels, burning of fossil fuels, vehicular and industrial pollution caused by burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels याद रखना, सल्फर सबसे ज्यादा कोल में and नाइट्रोजन पेट्रोल एंड डीजल में, but coal will also give some kind of an nitrogen. Next, point number 4, due to excessive application of fertilizers, due to excessive application of fertilizers, which causes leaching of nitrogen, leaching of nitrogen. अंडरस्टैंडिंग, एक्सेस नाइट्रोजन जो प्लांट ने अब्सॉर्ब नहीं किया कहां जाएगा, रिवर्स में. नेक्स्ट, बायोमास डंपिंग और डंपिंग ऑफ सीवेज, ड्यू टू डंपिंग ऑफ सीवेज, डंपिंग ऑफ सीवेज. नेक्स्ट, dumping of sewage, Q. Any waste is what? Nitrogenous waste, uric acid, and population explosion. And population explosion. Q, population explosion. Population explosion is associated with nitrogen pollution. क्यों? जितना ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन उतना ज्यादा वेस्ट और उतना ज्यादा नाइट्रोजन बैक टू द एटमॉस्फेयर. एटमॉस्फेयर भी कहेगा नहीं चाहिए नाइट्रोजन, मेरे पास ऑलरेडी 78% है, मैं 100% नहीं बन सकता. सो पॉपुलेशन एक्सप्लोजन, दिस इज एसोसिएटेड विद द इफेक्ट्स. वन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट, एसिड रेन. सी एक इंपॉर्टेंट रह गया कॉजेस में, एविएशन इंडस्ट्री. एविएशन इंडस्ट्री एक इंपॉर्टेंट रह गया, एविएशन इंडस्ट्री, स्पेशली सुपरसोनिक जेट्स. सुपरसोनिक जेट्स, अब उसमें से नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड्स निकाल दी गई है वैसे, बट स्टिल दिस वाज एन इंपॉर्टेंट कॉज, एविएशन इंडस्ट्री, स्पेशली सुपरसोनिक जेट्स. एसिड रेन. Second, photochemical smog. Third, global warming. Fourth, eutrophication and algal bloom. Fifth, ozone depletion. Ozone depletion. Fine. Nitrates are associated with photochemical smog and ozone depletion. Second application, ये सब पोल्यूशंस के हमने देखे एप्लीकेशन सोर्सेस. और दूसरा एप्लीकेशन, बायो टॉयलेट्स. बायो टॉयलेट्स, बायो टॉयलेट्स. एंड लास्ट एप्लीकेशन, BS6 norms. BS6 norms. क्या? सल्फर कम करेगा by 70%, नाइट्रोजन कम करेगा by 30%. So BS6 norms. How does the normal toilet function? How does the normal toilet function? On what principle? Sludge is washed away by water, waste. It is formed in the sludge. Sludge के अंदर there will be processes. Gas बाहर निकलेगा over the period of time, and thus धीरे 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 से it will be dissolved, decomposed, and nitrogen will be released. Fine. Smell इसलिए आएगा because urea and uric acid is there. Getting it? Urea and uric acid as well as ammonia. Now what are the biotoilets? Biotoilets use the same principle as normal toilets, but except there is less water. So in this biotoilets, instead of water for decomposition, we use a bacteria. And इतना बड़ा बड़ा टैंक्स बनाने की जरूरत नहीं to remove, because वो टैंक इसलिए बनाया जाता है so that decomposition is very slow in the presence of water. यहाँ पे we do not use that much of water. We use a spray or a mixture of Pseudomonas, Theobacillus, and other bacteria, which can be aerobic, which can be anaerobic, but mostly they are anaerobic. So after using this bacteria will break down the organic waste, ammonia, which can be either converted into biomass. Sorry, biogas. गोबर्धन. गोबर्धन योजना क्या है? यही प्रिंसिपल है. Fine. Which can be converted into biogas, which will make it in the form of energy, or it can be directly released back into the atmosphere. Fine. So this is the principle behind the waterless urinals. जहाँ पे the process में what is given out is methane gas and water vapor. These are the two things that are given out in the process of an biogas. Fine. Ab, who developed these biotoilets in India? They were developed by DRDO. Normal biotoilets, they were developed by the DRDO to be used initially in the Indian Railways, Rajdhani, Shatabdi trains, and then all over India by 2018. But unfortunately, government ने plan change कर दिया with the prime motive of two things: saving the water, because water is thrown on the tracks. Fine. Especially राजधानी शताब्दी ट्रेन्स में the sludge, दो kind है. जो sludge है in the normal trains, जहाँ पे ट्रेन खड़ी है वहीं पे. Fine. So even if it is on the station becomes dirty. The railway tracks near the station are dirty. In Rajdhani and Shatabdi trains, थोड़ा sensor से when the speed of the train is greater than 50 kilometers per hour, then only वो खुलेगा, and it will be thrown on the tracks far away from the cities. So as a result of this, the tracks was not getting dirty, but there was large scale use and wastage of water, as well as there was, because pani tha, humidity tha, so other fungus and all this used to come in large amount. So to save the water, government started using the biotoilets. But the problem with this biotoilets were, जो DRDO ने design किया था, the problem of this biotoilets were they were using still large amount of water as compared to the normal toilets. Normal toilets use 70 to 80 liters of water a day. But this biotoilets were still using 15 to 20 liters of water. And thus the original purpose of the biotoilets are very defeated. See, that is the problem why privatization, नई टेक्नोलॉजी आनी चाहिए. DRDO के पास जो टेक्नोलॉजी थी, it was good, but it was not that enough. So इस साल से government is replacing those with the vacuum based biotoilets. If you have gone in the if you have gone seen the flights का toilets, so उसमें as you push the button for flush, पानी ज़्यादा नहीं आएगा, air आएगी with, and the everything will be sucked due to vacuum. So vacuum से initially everything is sucked. उस vacuum में या उस vacuum is created, and जो air है that is nothing but the spray of denitrifying bacteria, and they are sprayed in such an amount that they will break down everything and release the carbon dioxide, release the methane and water vapor. Now the government is going one step ahead and saying that green corridors of railways and highways are going to use this, especially the railways. By green corridors मतलब ये नहीं कि they are going to be green in the terms of plantation, they are going to use bio toilets in each and every train which will use biomass, and that biomass bio energy will be used for villages because villages को grid connectivity हर जगह नहीं है. Similarly जो sludge है which is coming out, it is nothing but a good kind of an manure which will be used for growing vegetables along the fields, and this will be done on Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor. And Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor say, see how the planning is going. पहले दिल्ली मुंबई इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर, उसके बाद रेलवे ट्रैक, आधे जगह मुंबई टू अहमदाबाद व्हाट वाज कम बुलेट ट्रेन. अब क्या प्रपोजल है, बुलेट ट्रेन को एक्सटेंड करना टिल दिल्ली. 3 दिन पहले न्यू हाईवे विच इज गोइंग टू कनेक्ट 1200 किलोमीटर्स का डिस्टेंस इन 12 आवर्स फॉर कार्स. So this is going to be this is what is the DMIC, Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, which is done by Japan with the cooperation with Japan. So इसमें obviously one is industrial development, दूसरा is the faster movement of freight, not the people. People का तो होता ही है faster movement, but more importantly it is the faster movement of freight, goods, and thirdly excessive generation of biomass, bioenergy, and also a good because the trucks or train अगर move कर रहा है, dedicated freight corridor अगर है यहाँ पे, तो we can supply vegetables, goods, fruits and export them either from Delhi dry port or Mumbai ocean port to the surrounding countries. So this is how bio toilets का initiative you will have to link with all this. Govardhan Yojana and vacuum based bio toilets and water conservation in India. तीनों लिंक्ड है मेंस के लिए नाइट्रोजन साइकिल में. गेटिंग इट? सो बायो टॉयलेट्स. आफ्टर an environment friendly, it is an environment friendly toilet system, environment friendly toilet system in which human waste is taken to an chamber known as digester tank, in which high quality bacteria, bracket में generally anaerobic bacteria, high quality bacteria or anaerobic bacteria will break down the organic waste, break down or decompose the organic waste, break down or decompose the organic waste with very less water, and give out methane and water or water vapor as an byproduct. Methane and water or water vapor as byproduct. The water that comes out of bio toilets for bio toilets is treated inside the bio toilet only. याद रखना बाहर से सेपरेट ट्रीटमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है. is treated and is 98% clean and free from pathogens, is 98% clean and free from pathogens, is 98% clean and free from pathogens, which can be used for irrigation. Which can be used for irrigation. सुलभ तो कहता है ड्रिंकिंग वाटर के लिए भी यूज करो. सुलभ में जाओगे, सुलभ के इसमें वो ग्लास देंगे आपको, मत पीना पानी. जनरली पीने के बाद बताते हैं वो बायो टॉयलेट का पानी था. सो मेरे फ्रेंड ने वॉर्न किया था, इसलिए आई वाज नॉट ट्रिक्ड, अदरवाइज मैं भी पी लेता पानी. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज दिस. बट नॉर्वे में जाओगे तो वो पानी वही देंगे, व्हाट इज नोन एज एन ब्लैक वाटर. इट इज क्लीन देन आवर इंडियन नॉर्मल पानी. 98% free, treated very properly. Right? Some of the solid residue from the biotoilets, some of the solid residue from the biotoilets can be used for construction purpose. Can be used from the construction purpose. Vacuum biotoilets. Vacuum biotoilets are now being installed in Indian railways. Are now being installed in Indian railways. Are now being installed in Indian railways. And this biotoilets will utilize very less water as compared to the normal biotoilets. Utilize very less water as compared to the normal biotoilets. Benefits of biotoilets. सबसे पहले no bad smell from the tanks. ये नहीं पूछेंगे वो एग्जाम में, but still you should know the benefits. Second, no cockroaches or flies. No cockroaches or flies. Third, no clogging of drainage system or pipes. No clogging. Of drainage system or pipes. Next, effluent. Effluent मतलब waste in simple words, is in solid form and free from odor. Effluent is in solid form and free from odor. Next, no maintenance required, free from odor. No maintenance required, ये खासियत है इसकी. Next, no need to remove the solid waste. No need to remove the solid waste, and therefore will solve India's manual scavenging problem. No need to remove the solid waste, and therefore it will solve the India's manual scavenging problem. And last, methane can be used for off-grid या decentralized. Methane can be used for off-grid off grid, OFFGRID, on the grid or off the grid, off grid, decentralized, local power plants, local power plants, local power plants. Fine, solve the question number 5. What is the answer? Due to extensive rice cultivation, some regions may be contributing to global warming. The anaerobic conditions associated with rice cultivation causes emission of methane. Yes. When nitrogen based fertilizers are used, nitrous oxide is emitted from the cultivated soils. Yes. So the answer is both 1 and 2. I am not finding one question here. I don't know whether it has been included in this or not. A question tha, I'll just tell the question, बाद में हम introduce करेंगे उसको कहीं तो और question set में. So the question was, consider the following statements regarding recently announced bio toilets in the budget. So ये recently announced bio toilets in the budget was just to confuse you. They had asked you the questions regarding the bio toilets. Statement 1 was, bio toilets use the mixture of bacteria and fungus to decompose the solid waste. Second statement was, the bio toilets give out a mixture of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide gas only. Which of the following statements are true? पहले इसमें सिर्फ बैक्टीरिया है या फंगस भी है? Only bacteria, no fungus. Second इसमें what is given out is methane and water vapor, not carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. Fine? Methane is the most important. So the answer is neither 1 nor 2. Yes. यूट्रोफिकेशन, यूट्रोफिकेशन के लिए रुक जाए. तुम्हें मीथेन देखने मिलता है कल्टीवेटेड सॉइल से? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बनता है. See, eutrophication will do after phosphorus cycle, because nitrates and phosphates are related with the eutrophication. Fine. So कल अगर क्वेश्चन आता है, that is, I'll just read the question here. I am not finding some of the questions. What is the answer? Answer is all. sulfur is major, but nitrous oxide is also released by coal plants, which will be added to the soil due to acid rainfall by dry deposition or by wet deposition. Acid rainfall मतलब rain जरूरी नहीं है. Acid rainfall is of two types, dry and wet. Wet means when there is a actual rainfall. Dry means when there is a dry condition. They will go and settle down on the soil. Fine with this? So answer is 3. मुझे लगा ही था burning of coal में coal will give out, remember sulfur तो आएगा ही, but more importantly will be sulfur is most important, but even nitrogen हमने लिखा भी है, it is caused by the burning of fossil fuels. So fossil fuels में coal also comes. Fine. नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड्स होंगे, फ्लाई ऐश में नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड होगा, बट मोर विल बी सल्फर ऑक्साइड्स. सल्फर साइकिल कौन सा साइकिल है? सेडिमेंट्री साइकिल. व्हाट वाज द क्वेश्चन दिस ईयर? sulfur does not play, a sulfur cycle does not play any role in the rocks on the earth. True or false? Sedimentary cycle मतलब कहाँ से आ रहा है? Rock से. So if you know if it is a sedimentary cycle, means it is playing a, rocks play an important role. दिया था statements, rocks do not play any important role in the sulfur cycle. It is not a gaseous cycle, it is an sedimentary cycle. Fine. So sulfur cycle is an sedimentary cycle. Sulfur cycle is a sedimentary cycle where the sulfur is found in organic and inorganic deposits. In organic and inorganic deposits. In the organic deposit it is found in the organic deposits it is found in the organic deposits it is found in coal, oil, etc. मतलब fossil fuels. Organic deposits it is found in coal, oil, etc. While in the inorganic deposits, it is found in the form of sulfates, sulfides, etc. Naturally it is added, it is next point, it is not at all required for the exam as nitrogen and carbon cycle. Naturally it is added due to the weathering of rocks. Naturally it is added due to the weathering of rocks. Due to the weathering of rocks and also due to the weathering of rocks on the ocean bed, weathering of the rocks on the ocean bed, comma, volcanic eruptions, including hot springs and geysers, Organic sulfur is most important, is an important, not most important, sorry, it is an important constituent of protein. It is an important constituent of protein. Next, anthropogenic activities such as burning of fossil fuels, especially coal, is associated with release of sulfur, activities such as weathering of the rocks, construction activities, mining, drilling, no need of writing, just understand why mining and drilling. अगर rocks में iron sulfide है तो it will give out sulfur when you drill it. If when you mine for galena is the ore of lead or aluminum, lead, so it will give out sulfides. Fine. So generally sulfur is present in the sedimentary rocks. So mining, drilling also causes release of sulfur dioxide. Excessive sulfur pollution is associated with air pollution, and second, acid rainfall, both in the form of wet deposition and dry deposition. And third, smog. So blackening of Taj Mahal में कौन सा साइकिल ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है? सल्फर साइकिल. Acid rainfall. Normal rain का pH 5.6 because it is also acidic but due to carbon dioxide. Acid rain का pH 4.4 to 4.6. बस देखो क्वेश्चंस नहीं आएंगे इसमें, इतने ही आएंगे. एंड यू हैव सीन एन एग्जांपल कि इतना सिंपल क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि रॉक से एसोसिएटेड है कि नहीं, बिकॉज इट हैज नो एप्लीकेशन. जो भी एप्लीकेशन है इसका टेम्परेचर इन्वर्जन का वी हैव स्टडीड इन ज्योग्राफी, हाउ टू रिमूव द स्मॉग्स, बोथ फोटोकेमिकल एंड द नॉर्मल स्मॉग. phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus plays an important role in aquatic ecosystems. सल्फर कौन से इकोसिस्टम पे? रॉक्स में. ये aquatic ecosystem में, because the main storage of phosphorus is rocks. The main storage of phosphorus is the phosphate rocks. It enters the atmosphere through weathering and erosion of the rocks. This phosphorus mixes with the water this phosphorus mixes with the water and gets accumulated on continental shelves. Excessive phosphorus is associated with eutrophication and algal bloom. Excessive phosphorus is associated with eutrophication and algal bloom. Eutrophication and algal bloom. So इन दोनों साइकिल में you can understand there is nothing. फिर भी इसमें थोड़ा बहुत है acid rainfall, air pollution. इसमें there is nothing. इसमें there is only eutrophication. So what are the two things that cause eutrophication? Nitrogen and phosphorus. Organic source human waste है थोड़ा बहुत या कोई भी animal waste. But इतना नहीं है कि it is going to cause. Check this in the 4 process क्या है, causes क्या क्या हो सकते हैं, what are the impacts on the water bodies, what are the mitigation measures. Mitigation measures में ये सब आएंगे, प्रिसिशन फार्मिंग, नाइट्रोजन बजट एक्सेट्रा. इसमें से आई गेस प्रिसिशन फार्मिंग, हैव आई डन दिस इन ज्योग्राफी? सो प्रिसिशन, हैव आई टोल्ड यू दिस इन ज्योग्राफी? प्रिसिशन फार्मिंग. सो प्रिसिशन फार्मिंग विल बी इम्पॉर्टेंट. So what is the process? Very easy process. See, farms excessive use of fertilizers. Farms में से rivers are going into the lakes. Lakes में से in the underground water and groundwater से ultimately in the sea. So excessive use of nitrogenous fertilizers, nitrogenous and phosphorus fertilizers. Remember soil जब हमने किया था NPK, so कितना है ये 6.5:2.5. ये सबसे कम है पोटैश. So Indian lakes, water bodies use too much of phosphorus and too much of nitrogenous fertilizers. Fine. All this nitrogenous fertilizers either by the agriculture ecosystem goes into the water bodies. It can be smaller water bodies जिनमें ज़्यादा problem होगा, or in the large scale in the larger water bodies. This will also be a problem in the rivers. Nitrogenous fertilizers नहीं तो industries, industrial pollution which will give out nitrates, या vehicular pollution which will give out nitrates. Ultimately they will form clouds, and clouds के साथ dry deposition या wet deposition, too much of nitrogen pollution in the atmosphere. Excessive nitrogen in the atmosphere will go as a surface runoff in the water body. या ये नहीं तो burning waste, open waste disposal, leaching करते करते in the groundwater and ultimately into the water body, making the lake extremely rich in nitrogenous या phosphorus. Such lake Are the fertilizers मतलब are they nutrients या pollutants? Nutrients. Such a lake which is extremely rich in nutrients is known as eutrophic lake. So eutrophic lake, because it is extremely rich in nutrients, there is fast growth of algae which जिसको कहते हैं algal bloom. And once the algal bloom occurs, you already know what will occur. BOD and COD will decrease over the period of time. The lake will become very poor in oxygen and ultimately the lake will die. Because of algal bloom and the death of the lake, the color of the lake sometimes may become black, sometimes may become red अगर pigments red है, या India में it is commonly green. So such a lake is known as eutrophic lake, and the name of this is the process is the red tide. Fine. So what is the process of eutrophication? The process of eutrophication, excessive nitrogenous and phosphorus pesticides or fertilizers ultimately into the water bodies, making the water bodies extremely rich in nutrients. This extremely rich in nutrients is not good for water bodies because too much of nutrition causes algal bloom, that is sudden growth of algae, which ultimately results into the death of lake. Fine. So eutrophic matlab good in nutrients. It is a good word, but eutrophication is they become so good in nutrients that it causes sudden growth of algae, ultimately causing into the red tide, yeah, death of the lakes. This entire process is what is known as process of eutrophication. So tell me, eutrophication is caused by vehicular pollution, right? Burning of fossil fuels, commercial agriculture, green revolution. Yes, जिसमें there is an excessive use of nitrogen and phosphorus, it will cause eutrophication. Tell me, eutrophication is a natural as well as man-made phenomena. Natural है? Yes. Volcanic eruption अगर होता है, या if there is a weathering of nitrate rocks, potassium nitrate, sodium nitrate, कोई भी nitrate वाला rock, it will result into eutrophication. But it is anthropogenic eutrophication जो इतना ज़्यादा स्पीड से हो रहा है कि water cannot clean itself. Natural eutrophication takes place very slowly, but over the period of time, anthropogenic eutrophication इतना slowly होता है कि जो excess nutrients है उसको recycle करके खत्म करके वो पानी लेके जाता है. But हम इतना ज़्यादा nutrition we are pumping कि water ultimately dies out. Water इतना ज़्यादा मर जाता है कि now there is nothing left in the water, no animals left in the water, and water becomes just chemical acid, और उसमें फिर आग लगनी शुरू हो जाती है या फोम आना शुरू हो जाता है. Example Bangalore lakes, right? या फिर Damodar river, which is an example of biological desert in India. Too much of coal pollution. So one river which is a biological desert in India is river Damodar, क्योंकि Damodar is associated with industrial development. Fine. Eutrophication natural कैसे साफ हो सकता है? Yamuna is so polluted here. Go some distance away from Delhi and see the Yamuna after Agra just before it meets Ganga. वो naturally clean है. Because river या nature has a property, especially river has a property that if you leave the river undisturbed, it can clean itself after every 3 kilometers, चाहे कितनी भी polluted हो. But the problem is Delhi के बाद there is Agra, Agra के बाद there are so many cities कि river keeps on getting polluted, and ultimately जब गंगा को mix हो जाती है, after that गंगा का pollution makes the entire Ganga system the 4th most dying river in the world. So eutrophication is the biggest threat to the water bodies of the present century. Most of the lakes in India are eutrophic. Identify कोई भी lake India में जो आप tropics में देखते हो, hill station छोड़ दो, जो green color का नहीं है, हर lake ऊपर green color का है. That is an example of an algal bloom and eutrophication. Fine with this? So take down. Eutrophication is an process of addition of nitrates and phosphates. Underline the words nitrates and phosphates, naturally or artificially, to the aquatic ecosystem. Is an example of addition of nitrates and phosphates naturally and artificially to the aquatic ecosystem. Discussion tomorrow. You didn't get the mail? To the aquatic ecosystem, making the lake extremely rich in nutrients, causing algal bloom, which ultimately results into the death of nutrients, causing algal bloom, which ultimately results into the death of aquatic plants and animals. Full stop. आगे लिखना refer printed notes. Fine. ये सिर्फ prelims के लिए इतना. I will discuss the printed notes tomorrow. Because process समझ में आया? Fine. So इसके बाद इसके लिए printed notes. राम सर के लिए printed notes.